Hey, my name is Chad. On this channel we like to make stuff, and welcome back to Shady Acres, where we are building our dream timber frame wood shop. Now hopefully you saw the last video where we went through each of the 25 or 26 processes of creating these main support posts for the building. And today we're going to start working on these 21 or so foot tie beams. Now I said 21 foot or so long tie beams because, well, I'm not sure exactly how long we need to be just yet. The plan calls for 21 foot and 2 7/8 inch, but I need to go with the truth on the ground. I have a 38 foot wide by 39 foot pad, and I wanted to maximize the use of this foundation. So I went ahead and drew out where all the posts are going to land, and then take my measurements from the truth on the ground. However, I need to do a little bit of modification because I overlooked one little detail. So let's take a step back real quick and review. So I've got a 39 foot in depth pad and a 38 foot wide length on the foundation. Right here, these little squares indicate where the 4 posts that I just created are going to go. Here, and then over here and here. So we've got, I guess I'm going to call these lean-tos. These are the parts without the second floor. Everything in the middle is going to have a second story, and we're going to have lean-tos off of both sides. So over here, we've got some outer wall posts. Alright, so I've got the outer post set here with the width of 1 2x4. So we're going to have a 2x4 frame that is on the back side of this post. We're going to have 2x6 framing on the in between the posts. But I need to back this post off 5/8 of an inch, so I have an extra 5/8 of an inch here that I can rest the sheeting on when I mount the sheeting. So I need to back that up 5/8 of an inch, as the same goes for these posts in the middle. So this needs to be back up 5/8, and so does this one. And then on the front side, I decided I want to have like a stone half wall. So we're going to stack stones up. So right now, same deal. I've got a 2x4 width right here. I want to back that up another 2 inches. So the 2x4 being 3.5 inches wide, I need to make that 5.5 inches. So we're going to back this post up 5.5 more inches, and we're going to do that the same with this post and this post. So these both go 5.5 inches, and the width of my tie beam needs to be the width from the outside of this line to that line plus 7 inches for the tenon. It's actually 2 inches on the shoulder and 5 inches for the tenon, so a total of 7 inches longer than the distance between these lines. Man, I hope that makes sense. Sorry for the long drawn-out explanation, but now we're going to show you what I mean. Alright, so this is a scrap of 2x4 to represent the frame. So if I got that right up against the back of the post, we are right to the edge of the foundation. Here's a piece of sheeting that's pretty swelled by the weather, but this is actually going to go back this much more, so that this is flush with the foundation, and I got something to rest the sheeting on while I mount it on the frame. So we need to bring the whole post back 5/8 of an inch, and do the same on the main post in the middle. Now over on this side, I want to push it back another 2 inches, so another 2 5/8 inches, because I want that rock wall to be supported by the foundation. It's just the rock face, so I think that should be enough. I don't know exactly what I would need, but I think 2 inches should be enough. So I'll take 2 5/8 inches this way. Now, I did the quick math and I figured backing the walls up this much should lose me about 7 square feet. Anybody out there wants to do the math, you can check me on that. But that's good enough, I guess. Not too bad. So now we got room for the 2x4 frame, the 5/8 inch sheet, and a ledge for the rocks to sit on as I put them on the wall. Of course, I have to do the same to this side of the post too. So 2 5/8 inches this way. So by making the middle section shorter than what the plan might say, means I don't have to redo all the calculations for the angles on the roof pitch. So the lean-to roof pitches are set. I don't have to change those. And the middle section, the roof pitch is 45 or 12-12 as they call it. So that's a 45-degree angle. That'll just have to change the length of the rafter themselves. Not as big deal as changing angles. Remember, the plan calls for 21 foot, 2 7/8 of an inch. Let's see what we actually need. Okay, we're at 19 foot 6.5 on the span. We have to add 7 inches for each side, so that's a total of 14 inches. So that's 1 foot and 2 inches. That would be 20 foot and 8.5 inches. Let's see if this other set matches. And guess what? We are 5/8 of an inch wider on this side than we are on this side over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some measurements and see where we're off. Maybe I'm making a mistake, or maybe just the foundation is a little off square. So let me go ahead and get back to you real quick. You know what? This is why they made lasers. So it's about the end of the day. I'm gonna have to wait for a little longer for the sun to go down so I can actually see the laser, and we're gonna get some truth on the ground for sure. So I'm just gonna have to wait a little while longer for the laser to be effective. You know, it's really critical that you get your building square from the beginning, because by the time you get to the roof and that thing's not square, that thing is going to be a huge challenge for getting the roof to line up and actually look good. So we're going to get this done right, and we're going to, yeah, we're just going to get it done right. In the meantime, we're chipping away at this never-ending pile of flitches. We're really making a dent in that, and we're also burning off some of this springtime accumulation of branches and all the extra trash that accumulates over the winter. Since we're waiting for it to get dark, let's go ahead and talk about what we've accomplished so far. Right here I've got the scale model of the different parts that we've completed thus far. So here are the 4 posts, which are sitting right over here, and they've got all the joinery, and this is exactly the scale size that we're working with. And in case you're wondering what that scale is, it is 30, so what is it? No, it's 66% of 1 inch equals a foot. So if you want to go ahead and tell me what that scale is, then go ahead and let me know in the comments, because I don't know. It's 66% of 1 inch equals 1 foot. So anyway, 2/3 of an inch equals 1 foot. That's what the answer is. So we've got these 4 posts completed. And just so you know, these are the most complex parts of the building, these 4 posts. Now, I do require 4 more posts, but they are just a little less complex. So what the plan is, we've got these 2 posts, which are going to be the uprights, of course. And then we've got the scale of the beams. And these have a tenon on each side, which goes into this mortise, and a shoulder. This is the shoulder. So this is the 7 inches that I was talking about, the 2 inches in and 5 inches deep. So maybe the mortise and the tenon aren't exactly scale, but every other dimension is. So this is going to go in here and here, like so. So this is the H frame that I've been talking about, and this is what's going to go you know, right behind me, times 2. In fact, let's go ahead and do the times 2 part. Okay, got a pretty good tight fit. Don't necessarily need glue, but ultimately I will glue this all together and build the scale model as we build the building. So we've got the 2 components of the center of our building that are going to look like that, and they're going to be 12 feet apart. So we've got some beams that go between here to here and also up top, and there's knee braces that go in between here, diagonal braces that keep the racking support. So this is how we're going to start. Today we are working on the beams, of course. Now in the plan it talks about setting the beams right on top, but I had to complicate it. You know, that was not going to be good enough for me. As is my nature, I always complicate things. So I'm going to show you how we're going to be doing the floor joists. There should be, I believe there's 6 floor joists across to cover the span. And that's going to give us a lot of structural support as well. Let me show you how. Now, according to the plan, these tie beams should have been the simplest component of the whole building. Just a long beam with a tenon on each end that looks kind of like this. But no, I had to go ahead and complicate it a little bit, and well, let me show you how we're going to do this. So here is my proof of concept. Imagine this is the tie beam, and this is a floor joist. We are doing dovetailed, tapered mortise dovetail joints. So each of these joists, imagine this joist is 12 feet long with this little dovetail that sockets right into the mortise, and yeah, it just fits just like that. It's just going to drop in, and that's where it's going to go, and I'll probably drive a screw through the back of the tie beam, and you know, you've got a solid joint between the 2 structures of the 2 H pieces of the structure. So you might want to know how we're going to do that. Well, templates, of course. So just like with the support posts, I used templates there. So these were actually the first templates that I ever did. So what we got here is the template for the tie beam. They're going to go right here. So this, if this was the top side of the tie beam or the upstairs floor side, this template's going to go here. And then this gets a shoulder cut out, and we're talking about this square piece right here. So all that gets removed with a bit that looks like this, and that's going to be, I think I came up with 1 inch on that. So these bits, which I really didn't talk about on the last video, they all have a bearing right here which rolls, and it follows the pattern or the template. So it goes right around there and cuts it out in this shape. The other piece, so imagine this gets cut out, we're going to remove that, and then this piece gets dropped into the piece we cut right there, 1 inch down. We're going to screw that in, and we're going to use the same bit to clear out all of this material right here, right there, and then we swap this out with this piece into that same hole that this created. This is a little bigger than that, and we're going to use this bit right here, which is a dovetail bit. So I'll actually show you on this. So this piece here goes like that. You can see that. And then in the router, we got a bearing here, and we're going to follow right around this template joint right here like that, and we're going to cut that angle, so we're left with this result. Okay, and then for the floor joist, remember this is 12 feet long, so we're going to do the same concept but in reverse. So I've got this template which goes onto the end of our floor joist. Okay, screws in here. So then we're going to take this bit, and without adjusting the height, we're going to follow this template just like so. And we're going to clear out all of that material, which is, you know, exposed right here, right there. So when we take off the template, we're left with the tapered dovetail tenon. Right, and that fits right into this, like so. And I just checked, each tie beam gets 8 floor joists, so that happens 8 times on each side of each joist. So we got to do that 16 times per beam. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch it all. I'll make you watch one, but you know, I got a lot of work ahead of me. Alright folks, so it's finally dark enough for me to see my laser. So I'm going to go ahead and redo all my marks and get the measurement on the span for this tie beam. Alright, so here's something funny I've learned. So here's the front corner, this is the bathroom area. So I squared up on this corner, got my measurements for my posts here, my measurements for my posts on the end. And over here, I am perfectly square with the lines that I just drew from the first corner. So 90 degrees off of this one. And we're on the back side now. So this is my new line. And then what's kind of scary here is that we landed on our old line for the back of the post. So right here we've got 3.5 inches, which is just wide enough for the 2x4 frame without the sheeting, which was the point of scooting everything over. But you know, this is where square is, so we're gonna go with it. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you are new to the channel and you want to get caught up to everything that's been going on out here at Shady Acres in just one video, then I suggest you start right here. And if you want to dive in from the beginning and see everything that we've ever done out here, then start right here, click it, and just let it play.